If you don't subscribe in the next 10 seconds, Oren is never going to beatbox ever again. Nah, who am I kidding? Of course he's gonna beatbox, but you could subscribe if you want. Guys, today we are back in Sprunki 3D RP and animations, but that is not going to be the only place we are staying today, because we are actually going to be comparing all of the Sprunki morphs in this game to their real original versions in actual Sprunki. So without further ado, let's just get started. Where do we want to start? For the most part, I think we're just going to stick with the original morphs right now, because the badge morphs either don't exist in actual Sprunki games or are just scattered all over the place. I think we should honestly just start at the most basic one. Let's just start with Simon here. And I'm not going to spend too much time on each one because this is going to take forever. But I will just quickly say, I actually love this character model. Let's see how well it compares to the original version in actual Sprunki. All right, here we go. I'm just going to pop him on in the middle here. Okay, I am going to mute him actually because I don't want to hear it just yet. But as you can see, the model actually did a really good job in the game. They look basically identical. But now, for the moment of truth, let's hear it. Okay, of course they're probably going to sound identical because I'm assuming that the audio files were just pulled directly from Sprunki, but let's give it a shot. Okay, yep, they sound actually identical. And they did a really good job with this morph, I'm not gonna lie. But now let's move on to Oren. Okay, we got Oren here. This is, of course, one of my favorite models in the game. I think if you compare this to actual Sprunki, this looks really good. Okay, again, Oren is muted right now, but yeah, look, it's almost identical. Like, they got the headphones perfectly right. They got the antenna perfectly right, the hair, everything. It is actually perfect, and you can see with the color as well. It is, like, identical. But now for the moment of truth, let's listen to it. Okay, that one is classic. The other thing I forgot to note is let's watch for the animations. Let's see how different the animations are from the original game to the Sprunki morphs. This one is actually so good. I think the drums sound a little bit bassier in this. Like, they're a little bit different, but the animations are great. Obviously, the eyes don't really move, but it's really hard to do with 3D models, so it's much easier to do in the original Sprunki game. Now we're gonna try Garnold. This obviously is a really good one. Even the animation when Garnold is singing is so good. Let's see how this compares to the original Sprunki. Okay, as of right now, the character model is perfectly identical to the original game. Let's hear the audio and see the animation. Okay, after reviewing Garnold's animation in the original Sprunki, I hate to say it, but I think this one is actually better than the original. Like, I think the glow on his face is so good during the animation. Let's watch it. Okay, wait, that is so weird. I actually don't know why, but I think they got rid of the glow on Garnold's face. Well, I guess according to that, they are technically exactly the same then. All right, now it is time to try Brud. I love Brud's character model in this. The bucket is so funny. His eyes are so funny. It's like actually one of my favorites in this game. But let's compare it to the actual Sprunki now. Okay, as you can see, they nailed it. Like the eyes and everything, it's perfect. The bucket, the way the strap hangs out in front. Now let's hear it. Okay, of course, the animation is actually so good in the original Sprunki. Let's see how it compares in this game. Okay, honestly, they got really close. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the triangle mouth, it's kind of perfect. They did a really good job with this one. All right, now it is time for OX. I think this is probably one of the closest ones we're gonna find today. Like, they nailed this 3D model perfectly. Yep, I mean, if you look here, it is actually identical. There is nothing different except for the fact that it is in 3D. Now, let's give it a shot. Let's hear it. Now, I will say, I don't remember exactly what the animation looks like, but I know that it is actually going to be impossible to match exactly what they did in the original Sprunki game. But here, let's see what it does. Wait a minute. Guys, am I wrong? I think it actually might be perfect. I got to see the build-up. Hold on. Wait, guys, I think this is the best animation yet. Honestly, I have not used OX enough. I think this is the best one. All right, but now we got Mr. Sun. I mean, this is pretty basic. It's just a sun with some spikes on it. Let's see what it looks like in actual Sprunki. Yep, they could have literally just taken Mr. Sun here and turned it 3D. It looks identical. Let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, yep, if I remember the animation correctly, it is going to be identical, except for maybe the eyes. I don't know if the eyes move. Yep, so that's the only difference. It's just a little bit more basic in this game. All right, now we got Wenda. Again, this is another model that looks exactly like the actual Sprunki version. Let's see what it looks like in the game. All right, we got Wenda here, and yes, it is exactly identical. Let's see what the animation is like. Okay, I'm trying to fully remember, but if I do remember correctly, it is actually identical in this game. Yep, it's just a little bit not as smooth, like it's a little bit more choppy, but it is almost perfect. All right, now we got Mr. Tree. This is another one that is almost identical to the actual game because it is so easy. It is literally just a tree. And I will be honest, actually, as I'm looking at Mr. Tree in the original Sprunki game, it is a lot cooler in the original game. It is not as good in the 3D Morphs game. Let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, I don't remember the animation being as intricate, but let's see what it looks like. Okay, I mean, it's actually pretty close. It's actually really, really accurate. There's just a couple things that look a little bit different. Now we've got Gray, and just like Wenda, it is like almost perfect. It is identical. I will say, though, I am expecting the audio to be better on this game. The bass is so good, and the animation is actually really, really, really good on the original game. Gray is honestly one of my favorite characters on original Sprunki. But now let's compare it to the 3D Sprunki Morphs. Here we go. I mean, it's actually pretty close. The ears move, the eyes close, and the mouth changes. The audio is not as good, though. Like, the bass is not as good for some reason. I don't know if that's a Roblox thing, but honestly, they did a really good job with this. All right, now we got Funbot. Funbot is one of my actual favorites. Like, I really, really, really love this one. As you can see, they actually did a really good job moving it over to the 3D Sprunki Morphs game. But now let's see how the animations hold up. I mean, honestly, this is so hard to beat. The Funbot in the actual Sprunki game, the animations are so good. But now, moment of truth, let's see what it looks like in this game. Okay, honestly, it's just like not as smooth, but they got the mouth and the eyes to move perfectly. Okay, now we are on to Pinky. Again, I'm going to stop saying it because I think it's going to apply to everyone, but they did such a good job on the 3D models in this game. Like, it looks just like the original Sprunki game. All right, yeah, as you can see, it's like perfectly identical. Let's see what the animations look and sound like. All right, moment of truth. I really haven't used Pinky much. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know why, but everything just looks smoother in the original Sprunki game, but they didn't do that bad of a job. Honestly, I take that back. They did a good job. Like, I would say they did a really good job. All right, now we have Derpal. Obviously, if you've watched my videos, you know this is one of my favorites. Let's see what he looks like in actual Sprunki. Yep, Derpal looks actually identical. Looks just as good in this game. Let's see what the animations look like. I feel like an extra level of smoothness that this game just doesn't have is the random like idle animation. Like in the original Sprunki game, they're always blinking and looking to the right and to the left. They just don't do that in this game. And I think that that would add an extra level to the overall vibe of this game. But now let's compare the animation. Okay, I like when it's actually animated. Derpal does have the blinking and looking right and left animation. It does look actually really good, and they got the mouth almost perfect. All right, now we got Mr. Fun Computer. Literally one of my favorites in the game. The animation on the screen literally sells it completely. Yep, as of right now, they are perfectly identical. Let's see what the animation looks like.
Hello, would you like to have some fun with us right now? Come on. Gossip along with us in this fun time.
All right, I'll be honest. I don't know what you guys think, but I think they did a really good job of the animations in this game. I know they can't do an actual TV screen, but the way that they did it is so good.
Hello, would you like to have some fun with us right now? Come on. Gossip along with us in this fun time.
Again, I think they did just such a good job with this one. All right, now we got Tunner. I don't know why, but I feel so bad for Tunner every time we make a video. I don't know what his backstory is. Let me know in the comments if you know, but Tunner honestly just makes me sad. I think they made him look exactly identical, but now let's see how the animations are different. All right, obviously it's a lot of whistling. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, I mean, come on, they nailed it. It's actually perfect. They did such a good job with the animations on Tunner. But that's because I think that they're just kind of like really easy to do like whistling animations. All right, now we got Sky. This guy is an absolute legend. Sky just feels like an OG Sprunki. Let's see how different he is in the game. Literally not different at all. He looks perfectly identical in the 3D game, but let's see what the animations look like. So his mouth turns to like a triangle and he keeps his eyes halfway closed basically the entire time. Yep, they actually nailed that one. All right, now we got Vinia. Vinia is a complicated one because Vinia has this crazy wig. Let's see how well the 3D version compares to the original game. Okay, yeah, I mean, they did a perfect job. They got all the flowers right, they got the vines sticking out, and they got all the hair exactly the same. Let's see how the animations change. In the actual Sprunki game, the hair kind of like moves around, like it's totally physics-based. In this game, I think it's just attached to Vineria's head. But they make up for it with like crazy head shake, and honestly, it looks really good. I swear, if you play this game, you can really feel like you're actually playing Sprunki, but as a 3D morph. All right, now we got Clucker, one of my favorites, one of the best animations in the game, in my opinion. Here's what he looks like. I will say he looks much better in the original game. Like, they honestly tried really hard and did a good job in the 3D game, but he just looks so clean and crispy in this game. Honestly, I will say, I almost think the animation in the 3D RP game is better than the original game. Like, I don't know why, but the cymbal shake just looks smoother in this game. It almost like just makes more sense as a 3D model. All right, now we got Ratty, which is perfect because it's still the Valentine's Day update in this game, and so everything is red. Let's see what he looks like in the original game. Okay, yep. I mean, look, they got it exactly identical. It's not too hard to do. It's just a guy with like 5 spikes on his head, but let's see how different the animation is. Okay, it's obviously not a very complex animation. Let's see how well they got it in this game. Honestly, I think they nailed that completely. The mouth is perfect. Like, it actually looks exactly like in the game. And now we have Jevin. Besides some of the phase 2 morphs, this is one of the more complex phase 1 morph. He's actually wearing a hood. He has so much going on. But let's see what he looks like in the game. Yeah, I mean, he honestly looks more like mysterious in this version. Like, the shadows work so well in his favor. It makes him really look mysterious in this game. But let's see how the animations are different. Okay, the animations aren't too complex, and now that I'm looking back in this game, he really kind of looks like a dork. Like, he just doesn't look as ominous as he does in the original game. But I will say, in part, that's probably just because of the way that Roblox looks. Like, you can't get everything perfectly right, and I think they did a great job with what they have available. But now let's hear how different it sounds, and let's see what the animations look like as well. Okay, actually, I guess I haven't played Sprunki in a while because I didn't realize the audio and everything is totally different. I don't know if something happened with the original Jevin audio, but it is absolutely not the same in this game.